Number 61. The internal stress, exerted by the fibers to resist the action of outside force. A. Yield stress. B. Compressive stress. C. Bearing stress. D. Shearing stress. The answer is D. Shearing stress. Number 62. This is the type of internal stress that is common in any part material that is subjected to temperature but not acted upon by any external load. A. Bearing stress. B. Thermal stress. C. Residual stress. D. Compressive stress. The answer is C. Residual stress. Number 63. This material is also known as ductile cast iron. A. Malleable iron. B. White cast iron. C. Yellow iron. D. Gray cast iron. The answer is A. Malleable iron. Number 64. An iron has a physical properties almost the same of mild steel. A. Yellow iron. B. White iron. C. Malleable cast iron. D. Gray iron. The answer is C. Malleable cast iron. Number 65. These are steel most widely used of engineering materials. No other material offers comparable and versatility for product design. A. Wrought steels. B. Low carbon alloy steel. C. High speed steel. D. Medium carbon steel. The answer is A. Wrought steels. Number 66. What type of cast alloy steel for very high temperature application? A. Chrome, nickel steel casting. B. High chrome steel casting. C. Manganese, nickel steel casting. D. High speed steel casting. The answer is A. Chrome, nickel steel casting. Number 67. Muntz metal contains what material? A. Copper zinc. B. Copper iron. C. Copper tin. D. Copper nickel. The answer is A. Copper zinc. Number 68. The free cutting steel has higher blank content than the comparable carbon steels. A. Boron. B. Copper. C. Sulfur. D. Nickel. The answer is C. Sulfur. Number 69. A material that will added to improved its machinery. A. Chromium. B. Sulfur. C. Boron. D. Carbon. The answer is B. Sulfur. Number 70. In large quantity, what type of elements is harmful to the molten ferrous metal? A. Zinc. B. Aluminum. C. Oxides. D. Sulfur. The answer is D. Sulfur. Number 71. Which of the following material is not a classification of iron ore? A. Hematite. B. Siderite. C. Sulfurite. D. Magnetite. The answer is C. Sulfurite. Number 72. This is the most effective and useful elements for reducing brittleness of steel at very low temperature. A. Nickel. B. Manganese. C. Molybdenum. D. Silicon. The answer is A. Nickel. Number 63. The normal stress range relieving temperature for cast steel. A. 210 to 340 degree Fahrenheit. B. 450 to 550 degree Fahrenheit. C. 300 to 400 degree Fahrenheit. D. 600 to 700 degree Fahrenheit. The answer is B, 450 to 550 degree Fahrenheit. Number 74. Which of the following is the good stabilizer in stainless steel? A. Columbium, B. Titanium, C. Tantalum, D. All of these. The answer is D. All of these. Number 75. Which of the following is the good deoxidizer in steel melting? A. Manganese, B. Silicon, C. Aluminum, D. All of these. The answer is D. All of these. Number 76. This type of material is highly transparent and exceedingly hard crystalline stone, of almost pure carbon. A. Diamond, B. Titanium, C. Quartz, D. Gold. The answer is A. Diamond. Number 77. It is soft yellow metal, known since ancient times a precious metal, which all materials value are based. A. Copper, B. Gold, C. Diamond, D. Bronze. The answer is B. Gold. Number 78. What type of material that the ferrous metal has large amount? A. Carbon, B. Sulfur, C. Zinc, D. Manganese. The answer is A. Carbon. Number 79. It is the stress induced by tightening operation. A. Initial tension, B. Bearing stress, C. Initial stress, D. Compressive stress. The answer is A. Initial tension. Number 80. If the two main principal stress is zero, then the state of stress is A. Triaxial, B. Uni-axial, C. Mono-axial, D. Biaxial. The answer is B. Uniaxial. Number 81. It indicates the degree of concentration. A. Stress concentration factor, B. Service factor, C. Capacity factor, D. Power factor. The answer is A. Stress concentration factor. Number 82. It is the change of length per unit original length. A. Elongation, B. Strain, C. Shear modulus, D. Stress. The answer is B. Strain. Number 83. It is the total deformation measured in the direction of the line of stress. A. Strain, B. Shock factor, C. Modulus of elasticity, D. Elongation. The answer is A. Strain. Number 84. The deformation that is resulted by compression stress or tensile stress, and is expressed in terms of the amount of deformation per inch. A. Poisson's ratio, B. Shock factor, C. Strain, D. Elasticity. The answer is C. Strain. Number 85. It is the total amount of permanent extension of the gauge length, and is expressed as percentage increase of the original gauge length. A. Strain, B. Elongation, C. Stress, D. Poisson's ratio. The answer is B. Elongation. Number 86. It is the property of a material that relates the lateral strain to the longitudinal strain. A. Poisson's ratio, B. Strain, C. Pressure ratio, D. Endurance limit. The answer is A. Poisson's ratio. Number 87. Which of the following define Poisson's ratio? A. Lateral strain to longitudinal strain. B. Shear stress to compressive strain. C. Elastic limit to tension stress. D. Elastic limit to proportional limit. The answer is A. Lateral strain to longitudinal strain. Number 88. It is the true stresses-strain curve appears to be in which of the following? A. Higher than the engineering stress-strain curve. B. The same as the engineering stress-strain curve. C. Symmetrical with the engineering stress-strain curve. D. None of these. The answer is A. Higher than the engineering stress-strain curve. Number 89. The ability of material to return to its original shape after being elongated. A. Plasticity. B. Elasticity. C. Brittleness. D. Malleability. The answer is B. Elasticity.